So today we are going to talk about a new feature which is in Autopilot for testers within the Test Manager product, and it's called Find Obsolete Tests. So let's dive into this. What is it about? So this is an AI-powered feature that analyzes your requirement and the supporting documents and all the associated test cases in it. And then it detects the tests that are no longer relevant to that requirement or no longer aligns to that current functionality of the requirement. So what it does is, let's say your app keeps evolving and so does your requirements, and you may come into a scenario where some of the test cases are still old and that feature is already outdated or is enhanced, and those are now irrelevant to that specific requirement. So this feature exactly flags the outdated or irrelevant or redundant test in those scenarios, covering all the deprecated features or unsupported workflows or logic. So this really helps the QA teams and the test automation engineer teams so that they can review and clean up and maintain accurate and efficient test portfolio within Test Manager. So what are some of the benefits? So first of all, you maintain the relevance between the tests and the evolving requirements, and it also takes care of an overlooked problem in test management, that is irrelevance over time and test case bloating. And this again points to the second point, which reduces the clutter in your project. And finally, it also promotes the culture of test hygiene. So team often lack time to clean up their test artifacts. So because of the introduction of this feature, you can have scalable and repeatable checks scheduled for your team, and then the suggestions can be taken care by Autopilot, and the testers would just have to review those suggestions. So you can think of this feature like a code review, but for test cases for your requirements. And finally, it also reduces the risk in regulated environments, because in industries like finance or healthcare, if you have if you're executing irrelevant tests, it can lead to compliance issues or missed defects. So this ensures that you only have up-to-date tests within your test portfolio. And one important thing to note is this feature is available only in Test Cloud. So all the Test Cloud customers can try out this feature, and this is currently in preview. So we would also like your feedback on this particular feature, what works for you and what not. And then you can definitely reach out to us. So now let's see it live. Okay, so this is my test manager portal, and I'm in one of my requirements that I've added. So this is for personal loan submission, and I also have some acceptance criteria added to it. So I have recently updated my acceptance criteria. And as you can see, I already have like around 20 tests associated to this particular requirement. So there may be a scenario in which couple of tests, because of my evolved requirement, is now outdated. So I need to test those, or check on those particular test cases. So all I need to do is click on optimize coverage. So this is also something new. So we have combined the evaluate quality and test case generation and all the new autopilot features in one single button, and this would look like optimized coverage, and you can click that and find the autopilot capabilities right here. So this is the one I'm talking about, the find obsolete tests. And as usual, as you do in autopilot, you can add more context by providing documents to autopilot, and also additional prompts that basically instructs your autopilot to do specific tasks. So we also have a predefined prompt available for obsolete tests, which will flag out all your irrelevant test steps, or probably the one that doesn't match your acceptance criteria or the requirement description. And you can just click on find obsolete. So now autopilot would work, and it will take a couple of minutes, and basically it will populate with the results. So I have the result something like this. So you can see that this is in a tabular format, which exactly states the test cases which are suggested as obsolete by Autopilot, and also the confidence on how confident it is that this is an obsolete test or a redundant test, along with the reasoning. So let's take an obvious example. So this was a personal loan submission requirement, but you can see that there is a test case which is apply for vehicle insurance. So this is a very obvious mistake that the tester might have made, and this is flagged as obsolete. And you also see the relevant reasoning here. So it says that the tests attempt to verify insurance application which is completely unrelated to the personal loan submission feature, and it suggests to remove this test because it's outside the feature scope. So now the tester also has two options right away. So you can directly unassign this from the requirement or remove the suggestion if you feel this is a mistake that has been done by the autopilot. But in our case, it would be an unassigned. So we are not deleting the test case here because this might be linked to some other requirement and I do not want to delete it before verifying it. Or I just want to unassign it. So I can just simply do this action. And the second one is, let's say autopilot also makes mistakes sometimes and you feel that this is still relevant to your requirement, you can always remove the suggestion. Apart from that, if you feel like you want to take a look at the tests again, go through it, maybe there are some automation changes required, you can also flag those test cases by adding labels to them. We provide this an option so that at a later point of time, you can review them and then come back again and mark them as obsolete. And we also support the bulk unassigned assignment of obsolete tests right away from this panel. And as usual, if you're not satisfied with the results, we also have an option of regenerating, which will take back to the screen where you can provide additional document for context and provide prompts. So this is all about the finding obsolete test feature, which is a brand new feature for Autopilot for testers available in Test Cloud.